Hey everybody, Mike from the Focus Garage, and in today's video we are in a Volkswagen Tiguan. Why are we in a Tiguan, you may ask? Because we're going to be installing LED interior bulbs, as you can already see by the spoiler alert right over my head here. Now, I'd like to give a huge shout out to DE Auto LED and their products here for making this video possible. They provide plug-and-play LED solutions for a lot of Volkswagen, Audi, and German products. I'll go ahead and get into what I like about them just in a second here, but I just want to cover what we're going to be showing in the video here. So, the DE Auto LED package covers the full interior for your Volkswagen Tiguan, the first generation. So it's going to cover the front dome lights, the rear dome lights, the sun visors, the glove box, and the trunk. Now, the nice thing about the DE Auto LED pieces is that their bulbs are truly plug and play. So unlike a lot of cheap aftermarket solutions where you've got to go ahead and wire in resistors and heat sinks, or you get bulb out errors, or the bulbs will kind of not flash properly, the DE Auto pieces are truly factory replacements. So if you can handle swapping out a light bulb, this is the product for you. The DE Auto pieces are very, very simple to install, very, very simple to work as long as you know what you're doing when you're moving the light bulbs. Not a problem here. This video is going to take care of that for you. Another thing that I love about DE Auto LED is the quality of their bulbs. Now, if you're like me and you've bought a lot of bulbs in the past before, you'll see not all bulbs are created equal. Some have very, very cheap plastic housings. They almost feel like a toy. Whereas if you handle these DE Auto LED pieces, you will see just truly how nice they are. Their bulbs usually have metal heat sinks on them. The bulb has metal construction. The LEDs themselves are very, very bright, crisp pieces. And something that I love about the DE Auto LED pieces is the way that they work. So if you've got a factory vehicle where you open the doors and the lights kind of fade in and out, the DE Auto LED pieces retain that feature, so that way you do feel like it's a truly OEM plus upgrade, that the car would have came with LED lighting from the factory if you didn't know any better. So that's one thing that I love about their pieces there. And the other thing I said is that they're pretty easy to install. If you can handle swapping out a light bulb with a factory incandescent or a halogen bulb, you can usually handle putting in their LED bulbs, because the nice thing is with theirs, there's no gimmicks, there's no trickery, there's no wiring anything extra. You pretty much remove the factory bulb, put in this bulb, and you're good to go. A huge shout out to them. They do have great customer service. If you ever do have any kind of questions, just feel free to shoot them an email. It's right there on their website. They're very, very quick to respond, and they're very, very helpful with anything that you may need. So again, huge shout out to them. The link for these products will be in the description down below. In this video, I'm just going to go ahead and share my expertise and my knowledge on how this went in this Tiguan here. Like I said, I am no professional mechanic, but what I found did work for me. You do so at your own safety and your own discretion in your own vehicle. This should be pretty much the same for any kind of first generation Tiguan. So I believe it's 2011 all the way through 2016, 2017 here. So if you've got one of those and you're go ahead and putting in these LED bulbs here, you're good to go. This video should be what you need. So let's go ahead, flop into that, check it out, and we'll show you how to swap out these bulbs. So just for an example, you end up going from a light like this to a light like this. You got that. This got the LED, obviously. Play with the brightness here just to show you. And then here we've got the halogen. So for the glove box, it's not very difficult at all. I've got the light removed here. You can see there's going to be a little notch right here that we use a small trim removal tool to get up into here. So you just go ahead and click that in and push this out. The light will slide out to the right. And you can go ahead and unplug the factory connector from it right here by simply pushing and squeezing, and you can remove that. And once you've got the light removed, it's going to look pretty much like this. You're going to have a whole plastic housing here with a little metal box on top. You're going to need to remove this metal box to be able to get to the bulb underneath here. Again, plastic trim removal tools will be your best friend. Once you get this little metal hut off, you're going to want to go ahead and put the trim removal tool in here and push it to get the factory bulb out. I've already gone ahead and installed the LED, but in order to get this plastic or the metal box off, you're going to see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 little metal square sections on it, which correspond to plastic tabs on here. Again, with your little trim removal tool, go ahead and work those plastic tabs on the metal squares to make sure you can fully release this box from the light housing. And then once you've got the little metal box off here, you're good to go ahead and switch out the bulb. So we're just going to go ahead and give you a quick before shot here. That's what it looks like for the front two we've got in this vehicle. And then we've got the rear back here. Front, and you can see it adjusts with the light here. And rear. When working on the front dome lights here, you're going to have this little kind of speaker grill looking thing. use your plastic trim removal tool on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and the whole piece will bend down here, and you can go ahead and pretty much just pull it out once you've got it out down there. So as I'm showing myself in the mirror, you'll have the piece hanging down here, and you'll see there's just two locating tabs that hold it in place. Go ahead, pull that down, and you'll have this piece out and ready to go. So once you've gone ahead and removed that little plastic grill piece, you're going to see you're left with this. I've already gone ahead and removed them, but there's going to be two T15 screws here and there. Just go ahead and use a screwdriver or a socket wrench. And then once you get those off, it's actually very, very simple. You don't have to worry about dropping this whole piece from the headliner. The light shroud itself is its own self-contained unit. There's just two plastic clips, one here and one here. You'll go ahead and squeeze a tool up in between there, release the clips, and then this whole unit itself will drop down. There'll be a couple electrical connections. Go ahead and undo those, and then you'll have clear access to remove the bulbs from this piece as you see fit. If you don't even want to remove these electrical connections, you actually don't have to. You can do this with them still in the car. Obviously, just be careful not to let anything sag or hang for too long. But the bulbs are very, very easy. There's one here, and then there's one on the other side. You know, it's just in the little housing here. Turn it to the left. It'll kind of push lock itself out. Take it out and switch out the bulbs. When playing with any kind of LEDs, they usually are polarity sensitive, so always be sure before you put everything back together that your lights do work. So you can see here we've got, you know, no problems. Lights work. Everything looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back together now, and then we'll check back in a few. All right, we've moved to the back of the vehicle now, and I'm holding the rear dome light section. This one is a lot more intimidating than it looks, but it's really not that bad. It's going to sit, obviously, you know, flush up here in the ceiling, and all you're going to want to release is 4 tabs on each side of it. So I'm going to show you exactly where the locations are at so it's easy for you guys. You can see you've got one here where my thumb is, another one there, and then same place on the other side, you've got one there, and then again on the other side there. So with this up in the ceiling, you're going to want to go ahead, same thing, work your trim removal tool around, pushing down on these tabs. Once it comes out, you'll see an electrical plug here. Go ahead and remove that electrical connection, and you can remove the entire piece here. Now, what you're going to see online may some tell you to bend this piece. Don't even bother doing that. This actually separates. So there's 2 sections of plastic here. You can see there's this top hat piece here that separates from the bottom base here. The way this is done is there's a bunch of tabs around the side. So you're going to want to work left to right with this here. So you can see the way the piece is sitting here. Go ahead and start by prying up this piece by releasing the tabs, and you can get this whole piece off here. The bulbs are just going to sit in the same thing, a festoon style metal prong. You go ahead and bend it open, pull the old bulbs out, put in your new LEDs, test to make sure polarity is correct. Once you go ahead and plug this back up into the ceiling, and you're all good to go. That's how simple the back is. For whatever reason, a lot of people freak out about this piece online. They go ahead and they bend these metal pieces, they modify things, they break tabs. It's really simple. You got 4 tabs holding this to the ceiling, and then you've got just a bunch of very, very small plastic click tabs that secure this top piece, which the bulbs are located in, to the base piece here, which they sit in. So we're going to go ahead and install this back in the car and move on to the rest of the bulbs. Trunk light is nothing to worry about here. It's going to be just as easy as the other ones. There's a tab on the one side, very similar to the glove box, right here, where you're going to go ahead and put your pointy end micro tool in there. So just pop it right in there. It'll go ahead and release this main spring clip holding it in. If you want extra room to work, you can go ahead and pinch and release the wiring harness. And then to swap the bulbs over, it is very, very easy. You're just going to go ahead and bend out this metal tab right here. It'll release the factory bulb. Squeeze in your LED bulb here from DE Auto LED. Tighten the tab back up, and you're good to roll. It's really that simple. And again, that's for the trunk, which sits on the driver's side. Well, I guess the left-hand side, depending on where you are in the world of the vehicle, right next to the cigarette lighter charger port right there. So, got the wiring harness right here. Got the bulb right here. We're going to go ahead and plug that in for you. And that is how great that looks in the trunk there. So, unlike that little halogen bulb that doesn't really light anything up, and a nice night, this will illuminate the whole trunk with no issues there. Very, very bright span of light coming out of that. Alright, so now that we've got all of the LED bulbs installed, let's go ahead and go through the interior here and see what it looks like. Upon opening the door, you can see that these LEDs do fade in. They'll fade out as well, which is one of the nice things about more premium LEDs here, such as the DE Auto ones. They really give that nice factory appearance. They're not, you know, super sharp on or off. They still have that kind of cinema fade in and out there. So those are the front dome lights. Here we've got the rear dome lights. Let's go ahead and step into the vehicle here. We'll show you the visor light here. Got the visor light there. Visor light on the other side, looking absolutely great. And then we've got your glove box LED right there. Let's go ahead and step back to the trunk and we'll show you guys what that looked like all installed. And there you see the trunk light, bright and all installed. And that's pretty much the full LED interior in this first generation Tiguan. That's going to wrap it up for this one. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to kind of look through them and give you any kind of tips or tricks that weren't outlined in the video there. As you can see, this is a pretty simple installation, and you can knock it out in probably half an hour or so, maybe an hour if you're really taking your time, but probably not that long if you know what you're doing. So you can rip through it, really give your interior that upgraded LED look for, you know, not too big of a cost. As mentioned, I will have the products linked in the description down below. And one tool that I definitely do recommend you do pick up if you don't already have it is a plastic trim removal tool set. Various little picks and wedges to get into small plastic pieces that won't damage it. You know, if you use like a metal screwdriver or picks, you do run the risk of gouging plastic or ripping your headliner or something like that. So plastic trim removal tool set is well worth its weight in gold there to go ahead and help you with little simple, you know, clips and interior trim fasteners and things like that. So pick one of those up if you haven't already. It'll really, really help you in a situation like this. Again, I want to give one last huge shout out to DE Auto LED for the help with this installation. Please be sure to check them out and let them know any questions you may have about their products. This is Mike from the Focus Garage, and I will catch you guys in the next video.